Hello and welcome to Tech India. I'm your host, Ture Nayab, bringing to you yet another episode on the Java Beginners Aptitude series. So today we are going to learn the basics of the switch case, and we will see some few small programs from there once we understand the concept. So first, let's go on the whiteboard and understand the concept. So switch case, the name suggests it has to do with a switch. Okay, so imagine uh, there is a switchboard which has say multiple switches. Okay, we'll go with say three switches for now. Now the first switch is for fan, lights, and the last one is for TV. Okay, now somebody tells someone, let's say somebody tells me, so do they switch on the switch for television, right? So I'll just go here and I will see where is the switch for television. I'll press on it, right? And once I press on this television, I will only press on this television, right? If somebody tells me, okay, switch it off, switch the television off, so I'll just go to the switch of television and it was on, now I'll switch it off, right? I'll do absolutely nothing to the switches of fan and light. Now, in the similar case, if let's say somebody tells me that Dure switch on the fan, then I will just go here and on the switchboard, search for which one is the switch for the fan and check it out. Now, have you ever had this that you are gone to a new place, you don't know which switch is for what, and somebody tells you to switch on the fan? Then what do? You start from the first switch. Let us say I'm starting from the right side, so I try to turn this on and check whether it is television switch, so or rather fan switch or not, right? So this one does not turns out to be fan, so I switch it off again. Then we check the light, and then it turns out that that is also not a fan, and then lastly we check, okay, we found a fan, right? So now we are happy, okay, we found a fan, we'll switch it on. Now imagine somebody tells you that switch on the AC, right? So we do not have the AC switch here, mind you. So somebody tells me, Dure, you need to switch on the AC. I'll go here, I'll see. I have television, I have light, I have fan. I do not have the AC switch. So I'll tell the person back that, bro, I do not have the AC switch. So I'm sorry, but your request is invalid, right? So that's what happens with switches also, right? It goes to a default state later on. Now, let us see with the help of a small flow chart to understand what happens in switch. So in switch, we start with your first item, that is your switch, right? Which is a conditional statement. It could be an expression. Let me scroll it down. It could be an expression or just a variable holding a value. Okay, it could be either of those things. Now, once you write this expression, then it checks the cases along with it. So what is the first case? If the first case is true, then whatever is written inside it is executed. Otherwise, it checks the next switch. For example, let us say we write int a is equals to 32. Okay, and in switch I have written a modulus 2. Okay, now a modulus 2, either it will give me 0 or 1, right? So what I'll do is I'll just come here and I'll go case 0, and the for case 0 I will write system.out.println, and I'm writing it in shortcut. If the remainder is 0, then meaning 32 is an even number, so I'll just say even. Now then we'll go case 1. I'll go system.out.println odd. Okay. Now, there could be a case if it is not either. Now, I understand every number can either be even or odd. There is no exception whatsoever. However, there could be a case where we have default. Let's say the user have not given a number at all in variable A. Then in that case, we'll say system.out.println invalid choice. Okay. Now, if you see here and if you want to run this code, it might not give you output which you have anticipated. The reason as to why this will happen is because we have not written something very, very integral here, something important in terms of switch, the break statement. So after each case, there has to be a break statement. Okay. And this is something very, very important. Now, let us take our previous example where we were talking about a switchboard. Now, what happens if there is no break? Let's say somebody tells me that there is switch on the TV. What I'll do is I'll switch on the TV, and since I do not have any breaks whatsoever, I will switch on the light and also I'll switch on the fan. Okay, so as soon as I found a switch that works for me, I will switch on everything that comes after. Somebody tells me switch on the light, I will switch on the light and I'll switch on the fan. This is what happens when the break statement is not there. So what happens is, in terms of coding, let's say there is a switch, let's say 32 is there, right? So a mod 2, 32 mod 2, the remainder will be 0. So it will go and check the case 0. That works fine for us. It will print even. And if there is no break statement, it will also print odd. If there is no break statement in odd, it will also print invalid. The break statement ensures that once a certain case is executed, it breaks out of the switch here. Okay, so out of the switch meaning as soon as it finds break in this case, it will come out to the curly bracket outside the switch. And whatever is the statement after that, let's say I have written another print statement here, I love coding. So this statement will get executed, meaning we will also get in printed form that I love coding, right? I hope that is understood. Now, once we have understood this example, let's go ahead and write the code. So here we go. We are going to write a simple code. So I have already created a main function and everything. Let's say I take a is equals to 97. Okay. Now switch, and I'm going to say a mod 2. There will be two cases, case 0 colon, press enter, and then I will say if that is the case, even, and I'm not writing break statement in the first case. So as to show you what happens. Odd. And lastly, the default statement. Invalid choice. Okay. Now, mind you, I've not put the break statement. Let us run this code. So here, what we got is odd, because 97 was an odd number, and after that we also got invalid choice. Okay, now let's see, this is the switch is actually getting over here. Let me format this a little bit. Yeah, now you can see that the switch is getting over here. So let me write another statement outside switch. Okay, let us run this. Now we have odd, we have invalid choice, and we have outside switch also. Everything is getting printed. And let's see if I change this number to 34, which is even. Then in that case, since there is no break, see, we got even, odd, invalid. So what happens? The number is even. A mod 2, we will get 0. So case 0 is going to be true. And if case 0 is true, then it will go inside and execute whatever is there inside it. And because it did not find any break statement, it will also go to the next case, print whatever happens inside that case. So it executes everything that is inside that case. And lastly, there is also default. Everything without the break will get printed. Now, if I go ahead and write break in all of them, then what happens is that, oops, my God, I have a problem. And for the default, even if you're not writing a break, it's fine. But that is when the default is literally the last thing that you've written. Okay, so here we go, we run, and we got even, because once the condition was true, it executed the case and then it got a break statement, meaning it broke out of the switch, out of the first end curly bracket it found. Okay, then once that happened, whatever we have done or written outside the switch will get executed as normal. So we also got outside the switch, right? I hope this concept of switch is clear to you. In the next few videos, we will try out some more questions using switch. If you have any questions that you'd like me to take up, you can always put them on the comment section. Other than that, if you like the video, please hit that like button and subscribe. Have a great day ahead.